I don't know if you know this about me, but I really like to thrift. Like I don't thrift all the time. And sometimes you get thrift discouragement. So you stop showing up. But a few weeks ago, I went to this place. It used to be called, oh my goodness, I'm not going to remember the name of this place. But anyway, whatever. I was looking in the shirts. I was looking in the long shirts. And I found a section of like my size, but 7 button up nice shirts.
Oh, great.
That are tailored shirts. And they're from like Talbot's, which is a very nice brand. And then another brand that I'm wearing today is Coldwater Creek. So any teacher from the 80s will appreciate that I'm wearing this vintage button up.
Yeah.
And so now I've brought them all home. So I told my team every day I'm wearing a button up to like commemorate my thrift haul, and they were half off. They were half off.
Wow.
I'm so excited. But Justin, when it gets below,
I got a question. That's what I want to talk about.
Wait, you're interrupting.
I'm interrupting you, but I want to know. I just want to stop you. How much time do you want to spend talking about weather today? I know it's really important.
I was
to you.
just thinking.
I think we need
we're
to
not
budget.
going to be the. Okay,
I think we need to budget.
30 seconds just for this. If it drops below. If it drops below 72 degrees, I'm going to be in a button up and a V sweater because it's the total like little preppy. Yeah. So I feel really preppy on the show today. I'm really excited about my little outfit. So that's a good reason to get on the YouTube instead of just listening to us, is to see Jennifer's new vest.
Yeah.
So, but more importantly and more exciting is our guest today. So let's get started.
Hello, and welcome to the Almost Amazing podcast from the CityRise Network. Hosted by Jennifer Dennis and produced by me, Justin Kellough. We're a podcast that was supposed to be focused on parenting, but we've kind of lost the plot along the way. Honestly, we don't know what this podcast is about, but we talk to incredible people who love Jesus, and our hope is to provide encouragement and fun whenever possible. If our lack of clear direction bothers you, we apologize, but no one is making you listen to this podcast, unless you're married to Jennifer. Andy, thanks for listening.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Almost Amazing podcast. I can assure you today, it's amazing. I'm really excited because we have a fantastic guest, and thank you for listening. Welcome, Justin.
Hi, and Kaylee's here too.
I was about to introduce Kaylie, Justin.
We can talk to her.
All right. Okay. So our guest today is welcome, Kaylie Simpson.
Hello.
Hooray. How do we know Kaylie?
Kaylie is our new associate youth.
And you're not going to get it. She works with the teenagers.
she's working with the student people.
Yes.
Yeah. Us back in the old day, we call them the youth group. Anyway,
but how do you know her?
I know her because she's my niece.
Oh,
she's my niece.
Cute.
And she has moved here from Pensacola, Florida. And it is totally the Lord. It's totally God's hand in all this. So welcome to the show, Kaylie.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So let's begin.
We check in first. Yeah.
We check in a little bit. Just so you know, we want this to be conversational. So don't feel like you dive in on an interview. You just can answer anytime. Good luck getting past Justin and I. We're pretty verbal. Poor Ashley. All of her jokes, she just has to shoot in like a BB gun,
Ashley.
Which are pretty great.
She's found her place. She's found her place.
So let's begin by check-in. Kaylie, what have you enjoyed most about your week this week?
This week has been super fun, super good week. Last week, not so much, but this week has been a blessing. I have enjoyed, one, getting more items in my funky office.
Justin, have you seen Kaylie's office?
She's invited me over. I haven't seen it yet.
It is next level.
Like, the only indication I have is I was there last week and I was talking to Savannah and I made a comment about how all of their nameplates look great. They used our branding. They put the names on there correctly. They look awesome. I was like, thank you for doing that. She's like, yeah, well, Kaylie wanted to bedazzle hers. I had to tell her no.
Uh-oh. I think she did end up doing a little sticker on it.
She did not tell me no. I did end up putting a little
Kaylie's
tape.
the first
it's
time.
It's not the end of the world. I was just so thankful they used the right fonts. I was like,
amen, they are the right fonts.
Yeah.
Kaylie's used the first like Dreamcatcher wind chime with disco balls that I've ever seen.
Wow.
It looks pretty cute.
Yeah.
And she's got a little she's got like a little disco cloud that's hanging from her ceiling.
Yeah.
That's pretty cute.
It's pretty cute.
And she has like records on the wall. It's really adorable. So you'll have to stop in.
So I was telling Justin that I'm more of like a mid-century modern fan and 80s decor. So I don't know what vibe you like call that, but that is
it's a little retro, beachy.
Yes.
Cool.
So I love it. And anyways, I got more items to put in my office and I've had more times with students. We had Wednesday night lift groups last night. And the Lord gave me an opportunity to talk to two of my girl students last night, and more in a personal, atmosphere and just us and it was a great conversation. So I'm thankful for that. And Sunday went well, at church. We had more students show up. And so it's been a blessing this week. I got a lot done. And yeah.
I've got something going on this week that I want to ask if y'all have ever encountered this. Have you ever made a comment on something on social media that went viral and then your notifications for a while were just that thing? Has that ever happened to you?
Yes.
Okay. I have a video that I made that I think will haunt me until I die.
What did you do?
I made a video about my lawnmower a few months ago. I have a push mower that's like the old style, timey, like there's no motor. It's just like the wheel, like in the cartoon. I made one video. It has 10 million views, and every single day my notifications are just about this video.
Wow.
No one cares about anything else I've ever said or done. It was just POV when you buy one of those lawnmowers from the cartoons, and it is me for 30 seconds mowing my lawn. 10 million views, and it is going to haunt me until I die. Like, I don't think it'll ever go away. And one of my friends was one of the first to comment. She said, "Oh, this is great." Something so innocuous. And it has 47,000 likes on that comment. And she's like, "That's all my notifications are, is this comment."
On your video. I can't believe I haven't seen that yet.
I'm so sorry. It was on Instagram. I think it has up on TikTok too. But
there was a girl that was she was one of the counselors from the flood that happened this summer of the Camp Mystic. It's weird.
Wait, this person on video, or you know her?
No, it's a video of this counselor. She going back to school, and she was just like, to go from this camp situation to school has been so difficult.
Yeah.
It's so hard. And she said something like, "Will life ever be normal again?"
Right.
And I wrote I just made the comment, "This is going to take a lot of time. I hope you have someone to talk to. The Lord will lead you through this, and life will feel normal again."
Yeah.
And the comments, it was like they were brutal. Like,
really?
How could you trust a God that would allow something this to happen? I mean, it was like, it will not be normal again. It will be never normal for her again. And I'm like, yeah, thank you so much, 16-year-old. I'm sitting here as an old lady. I know that life will, even your mouth, after you pluck something crazy out of it and shove it back in there, like a new tooth or a bridge, it feels normal again. It's how we're built. Anyway, but I wasn't gonna but I got so many comments.
Oh wow. That's a bummer.
And I didn't feel like going in and
addressing all of them. Yeah.
And I would just write, "Yeah, that's a comment." Like, that's a view.
Wow.
That's an opinion.
I had something like that on a theological video. It was like a scientist trying to talking about creation and like biblical facts and so forth. And I don't remember what I commented, but it was along the lines of creation. And I had so many comments on that one comment. And it was brutal people, and the arguments, and it would just start this whole like chain of arguments. And I just kept having to go back. And I would comment it because I would it wasn't something I was just going to leave there and let them argue and me not comment back. I was like, no, I'm going to put my word in on this. And I don't know if this is appropriate to say, but there was this reel that I had, and it was this man dancing with this, what are they called?
Quadriplegic?
They're not paralyzed. They don't have any arms or legs.
I don't know what that is, but I don't know either.
Yeah. So anyway.
But you posted that video? Or it was on that video?
I commented on that video and it got a lot of likes.
Wow. Mm-hmm. There was a season when I first started the church's TikTok where I Googled things people ask about Christianity. And one of the things that came up was, can Christians eat pork? Which I was like, that's a weird question. And so I make a video about Peter had the vision. It released us from all these things. And, he had the cloth was dropped from heaven. And basically Jesus was saying all these things are clean. people lost their minds about that because there are so many faiths, and including some Christian people that are vehemently opposed to pork and that it is like awful and like terrible. And I mean, like the video got a lot of views because people were fighting about whether or not Christians could eat pork. And I was like, this is insane, because I also posted a video about can Christians have a tattoo, and nobody cared about that video. They were only focused on this one pork.
Thing. So Justin, this is how, and Kaylee, you may know this, but my life has changed this last week. I put a time limit on my TikTok. Wow. And I am committed to following
it. And you don't ignore it.
I don't ignore it. I don't put the code in. I don't get back to TikTok. And it has been, and I'm not saying that it is a generous amount of time. it ain't like 15 minutes. It's a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah.
But it's funny because Andy can't tell because I'm still on my phone. I'm just like doing other things now. I'm like back into Sudoku.
Yeah.
I'm now like Pokemon. Level 8. I'm going back to Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
I'm now like back into Candy Crush. Yeah. I'm Facebook. Oh, yeah. I'm back into Facebook, Instagram. Like but I realize that I know that I'm still online, but the short form content I think is uniquely terrible for my attention span. Mm-hmm. Like it's trashing it. Mm-hmm. So at least if I'm in Sudoku, but man, I can only do Sudoku. I completely go to sleep at night trying to solve that.
Wow.
Like out. So my puzzle solves are like 24 hours to solve this easy because I went to sleep and got back up. And so it's a new day. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to get into Instagram Reels because that's just, I'm yelling on this show.
You got a lot of passion about this.
We don't need we don't have.
We have enough shows with people yelling.
If I'm talking too loud, he's like, do you think the neighbors need to know everything we're saying right now? But I know if I go into Instagram Reels, that's just the same thing. It's just more curated TikTok.
I will say this. I have tried the same thing you're doing of like, I'm going to limit my time on this app. And I immediately, like you, find a new app. Like I started scrolling the weather app because I was like, I was like, what's going on? I mean, I was like, how is this any better?
So
I just can't get this phone out of my hands. Like, I don't know what is going on.
It's so true. Kaylee, what are some of your favorite apps?
Well, Amazon. I start online shopping at night, and that's like never ending. There's no stop to that.
There's no end to Amazon. It can go on forever.
Yep.
It's so true.
I just recently found this app. I don't know what it's called, but it gives you, it's kind of like with the TikTok thing, but it gives you this notification that is Bible time. So it won't let you on your phone at like in between that time that you've set for it. And you're supposed to read your Bible during that time. Nice. So I didn't download it. I saw a video on it yesterday, so I'm going to go back to it and then download that.
Kaylee saw the video.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it.
I'm aware that that's a possibility now. Have you seen the video where people take their check from their job and they cash it, and they take all the cash and put it into envelopes that are labeled?
Yeah.
Right. And so I was showing Kaylee this. For me, it's not that I really want to do that, but I love watching them say, okay. And they flip out and they're like, this is for rent.
Wow.
This is for gas. This is for car. This is for insurance.
And they have this money organizer thing.
Yeah.
It's
and
like
then and then they get to clothes. They're like, okay. And then they pull out like $30 that they've saved in clothes. And it's like, okay, I'm going to put $20 with this. I'm going to take this out. We're going shopping this afternoon. I'll put $5 back in here. But to watch them do that, like as they think about it, and they always have perfect nails. Their nails are like, it's probably an ASMR. Oh my goodness. I'm watching money ASMR videos.
The thing about the internet that's so chaotic and wild is there is no limit to the niche like entertainment you can find.
There's no limit.
I was listening to the Amy Poehler's podcast yesterday, and she had Kate McKinnon on. And every question she asked at the end is like, it's kind of like we're talking about. What are you looking at? What are you enjoying? What's bringing you joy? What's online or what that you're watching? And Kate McKinnon mentioned this guy who is a plumber in Australia.
And his videos, you never see his face, but his videos are just him enthusiastically trying to unclog drains and find the problem. And he's like so excited about it. And I was like, let me check it out. I spent 30 minutes on that. Like, I was like, this is incredible. This is incredible. It's so good.
I can only watch a little bit of that.
Yes.
And he didn't see anything super gross, but it was just, he was so enthusiastic about his job and finding what he found the right,
I have to go find him now, Justin.
It's wild.
I also enjoy people who come out and clean up hoarders' homes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
I was about to say that the people who clean their sinks.
Yeah.
Like they like, I don't know what it is.
They use that scrub buddy and they like.
Yes.
Or the rugs. So you see them spray out the rugs that are like brown and then they become like beautiful.
Let me just say, I tried to do that and it is a disaster. You really don't realize how much water you're dumping in that rug.
The rug becomes 400 pounds.
My husband realized that because I put it on the fence.
And the fence crumbled.
Months later, it's still out there wet. He's like, I don't know why you had to do this. I had to return I borrowed a power washer from a friend. There's one that I'm just like obsessed. And I think I told you about this. These people who set up campsites in the rain and it's raining and they are making the noises like,
like the rain is making the noise or they're making the noises?
They're making noises. They undo their camp.
With their mouth or are they making noises from working?
It's the way it sounds when they're unfolding their tent and they're zipping the tent.
So they're actually making the noises. I was like,
when I'm working a lot, I make that noise. When I'm washing, it's just like,
she does.
But they make up their tent. And what I think is so funny is like they're making their tent and then they make their bed and you're just loving it. And then they make their dinner and they're eating your dinner and you're just like, I probably could be doing these things instead of enjoying someone else doing these things. So I think we're going to go camping again. Yeah. It's nice weather.
Kristen's the same thing with cleaning. Kristen, my wife, loves cleaning videos. I mean, she gets inspiration about how she can clean better and she finds tools and stuff. But cleaning TikTok is kind of where she ends up landing.
It's not a bad space to land.
I'm just going to say that if you can see somebody's algorithm, you can see into their soul.
Agreed. That's true.
I literally was saying that last night. I was on Pinterest and I was like, whoa, like my Pinterest, my Amazon account, my TikTok, like it is literally like seeing into my mind.
Yeah.
Like exactly. And it's so crazy. I'm like, wow.
It's wild.
If you want to know my personality, my interests.
Who could I share this with? Oh my goodness. I think we've just thought about a new app that could take all of your app input and creates a profile of you that you could share with others. And just say, here's my profile on the app.
Yeah. I think it's great because it's also a reflection of, your values and what you care about. And it was funny early on, and even now you'll still see people say stuff like, well, all I see on this app is this. And it's like something really disgusting and wrong or like immoral.
I do that too.
And they don't realize that it's like, well, that's because what you've been looking at. Like it's like, hey, you like looking at these
inappropriate stuff.
You like looking at these people who are dressed this way. Like the internet knows that and it's giving it to you. And like so many politicians, even pastors early on, like outed themselves of like being immoral because
it's just all these videos that are appropriate.
I mean, there's one of like, it's just dancing girls in bikinis. And they're like, you brought that on yourself.
It does say a lot about you. That's why I was talking to someone yesterday and their husband has been logging in onto their feed to just watch their reels
and ruin their
algorithm. She's like, I don't want mechanic stuff. I don't need stuff about cars. I don't need this junk. Get off my Facebook.
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny and very telling that our algorithms are such a unique picture of who we are.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's wild. So for me this week, yes, that's been the big thing is trying to figure out who I am.
Yeah.
Who are you, Jennifer? How do you want to spend this time? But it's been a good week. It's been lovely. And I know that we made it a limit for the weather, but for some reason, everyone in Houston's a good mood.
Yeah.
It's when the moisture's low and the temperature's low, everybody's kind of in a friendly mood.
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't really care about dating this because tomorrow's Halloween and I'm really excited that it's going to be cool on Halloween.
I know.
I am tired of sweating, dragging my kid, not dragging. I'm being dragged around the community with my kids.
No, I feel so bad for those kids that are in like full blown. They're just shoved into a stuffed animal and that's their costume.
It's going to be perfect tomorrow.
And there are mosquitoes and it's just
going to be beautiful.
But it's going to be perfect.
Can't wait. What do you do do
give out candy? Like, what do
No.
you? Nothing.
Mm-mm.
You just turn off the lights
No.
and pretend that you're not there.
Yeah, no, I don't even do that. They don't even come to our door.
No, her thing is gated, so
Yeah, we
they'd
just
have
don't
to-
have people in our area.
we'd have to stand at the gate.
It's a very
give them the
tiny
candy through
little
it.
neighborhood. There's only a
Okay.
few of us. Nobody's going to take the time to go there.
Okay.
So in the past, I would go to other people's houses and we would sit there and hang out with them and pass out candy.
I mean, I live in like Grand Central Station Halloween world
Yes,
in
you
Westview.
do.
I mean, it is
You
like
absolutely do.
it is the picturesque movie.
Maybe I'll take Kaylie. Or do you have a Halloween plan for tomorrow night?
Fortnite.
I might. Kaylie and I do take in some Fortnite.
Did you buy the K-pop Demon Hunter skins?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, I would if I played K-pop.
We,
or if I played Fortnite, I would.
So we're going to. I think I do need to drive Kaylie to the neighborhood. She has to see it.
It is like when you watch a movie about Halloween and people are going trick or treating. Like that is what this neighborhood is. I mean, they block off streets. It is.
Right.
People everywhere, people on their front porch. No one's lights are off. Like everyone is giving candy.
People come from other neighborhoods
Yes.
they come from all around Houston
Right.
because
they know.
Because they know this is where you get the best candy.
Listen, you growing up, maybe you know this too. There was always like the neighborhood you had to go to for Halloween.
for the good
Like
candy.
you get full candy bars.
Everyone,
instead of a little.
everyone knew where that was in the neighborhood,
Yes.
in their town.
So in Bel Air, it's so bad because Bel Air got ranked nationally for their Halloween nights.
Really?
They were on a list a few years ago.
Even with no sidewalks. Good for them.
Number
No
one
sidewalks.
in the nation.
Wow.
And so with some of our friends that live in Bel Air, they're having to get those giant Halloween buckets
Of candy, yeah.
They
Wow.
have people constantly at their door with no break for the entire night.
Yeah.
It's here you go.
Word.
I could feel
Here
it.
you go. Here you go. Here you go.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let me just say to the world out there, this is going to come after but for future, if you're going to take your kids trick or treating, Westview. Westview's perfect. And let me tell you why. They don't have a lot of big yards. So the houses are a lot more compacted in Westview than they are in Bel Air. Bel Air has a bigger yard.
Yeah.
They're like, this is if you're just wanting more candy. This is the more candy.
We have to take a backpack because we unload the kids'
Yes.
bags halfway through and keep going. Like
the bag
so
that
much
you
candy.
want. Obviously, you're going to have to bring 2 or 3 bags
Yeah.
because you fill them and your kid can't carry them.
It gets heavy.
You can't carry all that. And then the houses are so close together and they're much closer to the street. So you're not like running all the way down someone's front yard. You're just going. You can take out a whole street in like just a few minutes because it's like from house to house to house to house to house.
There's a guy that pays the Kona ice truck to come sit from his house, and he just gives out free snow cones all night.
It is the
like
dream.
it's an
I know.
incredible
I want to say
Halloween neighborhood.
I've been thinking a lot about this, and I don't want to deep dive into this, but I know that a lot of believers, and I totally get this, are very anti-Halloween.
Mhm.
And I know that the message behind Halloween, it's evil, it's terrible. I agree with that. I agree with all of that.
Yeah.
But growing up in the 80s, Halloween was such a cultural event for us. It wasn't so much about, I don't know where it shifted or how it's deepened, but it was like get dressed up. And my mom actually convinced us that it was the end of all bad behavior before we get prepared for Christmas. Like my mom somehow made it this really good, as in preparation for Christmas, It's
like it's a Lenten season of good behavior.
It's the Lent of Christmas. Put this bad. So now it's not like I want to be taking up for Halloween with other believers because you're right. It is the evil holiday.
Yeah.
But I wasn't raised to see it that way. I was raised to see it as a cultural, like in our culture, it's something we do. And it gives believers a chance to be out in the neighborhoods, to meet their neighbors, invite them to church. And in a way of just knowing their neighborhood. It's the one night
I think it's a good picture.
you get out with your neighborhood.
I think it's a good picture of like what the enemy meant for evil, God can use for good. And that sounds trite. But what I'm saying is there's no other holiday that pulls people out of their homes to their curbs to interact with their neighbors.
Right.
There's not one.
So it's
and
tough.
I love Christmas.
It's tough.
Christmas is awesome. It's for Jesus. Easter's for Jesus. But there's nothing that really brings community members out to talk to their neighbors like Halloween.
Yes.
And it can be done in a way with your kids or it's like, it's not about
and I think
this
it used to be that for Christmas, but I think it's changed.
Yeah.
I think caroling was a big deal.
You're right. They don't do that anymore.
I think we
That's
were
so
doing
true.
a lot more
we
community.
should do
than
that
we
this year. You want to carol?
I would love to carol.
Actually, Aaron was talking about that. Doing that this
Aaron Simpson.
Christmas. So
Do you think he's going to have people dress up in those old, like,
That'd be great.
uh,
yeah,
the
everyone from the elf.
All the characters from Elf.
What
is that movie? The Charles Dickens age of,
That'd be cool.
What are you supposed to do while if you open the door, should you sing along? Should you as the audience of one
standing there and being like,
I have actually been caroling.
Okay.
And let me say, absolutely. Join along. This is, join along. This is.
And then how does it, I've never had it happen. I've never done it. How does each interaction end? When the song is over, do you? Yeah.
I think you bow. You curtsy. You curtsy. Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night.
That's it.
I think you quote something
I bet if you did it, a lot of people would record you with their phones. I bet a lot of people would be really into it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Especially if I did because of the singing.
Yeah. They'd want to remember it. That'd be their new holiday tradition. Like, this woman came to our house 3 years ago, but we listened to her every year because she was a gorgeous
Maybe you bring
voice.
candy canes. You sing a little bit.
I guess for our church, you should probably also invite them to church.
Yeah, you give them a flyer.
Like, hey, Christmas Eve, we love to see you.
It would be funny. We're dressed up in 1800s wear. We've got these historic candy canes, but we're giving them a QR code.
Yeah.
That'd be a little mixture of the ages.
That'd be interesting. I like thinking about how to make holidays more community. I like
Yes, but I don't think would you do this, the caroling?
I'd drive the car.
Oh, there's no car, Justin.
Oh, you
You're
just
going
walk?
from street to street.
You just walk
You're
from
going
blocks
from
and blocks
house
and
to
blocks?
house. Yeah. Yeah.
Then what happens when you get 6 miles from the church?
You never get 6 miles from the church.
Let me tell you, retirement homes are the best place to carol because they love it.
They do.
They absolutely love it.
I agree. I think that's
the best place to start because they will give you so much encouragement for the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I did that maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah. We did that a lot in my...
It's been
very,
a while.
very long time.
In my first church, we would always, if we did service project days, we'd always have one that was at the nursing home. Because they're always looking, please come, play some music, whatever. Please come and entertain people. They were always really open to it, but they were always really appreciative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do think they love seeing the new generation doing things meaningful.
Yeah. And they'll hype you up. You got the best voice ever. Love your outfit.
Honey.
I'm like, girl, thanks.
I know. It's so true. People, it is true. I've caroled in old folks' homes before.
Mm-hmm.
It can get a little tight if you're going from room to room. That can get a little loud.
Yeah. There's some things about small towns
yes.
that I wish we didn't lose in the city. You know? And I think
yes.
I think Halloween's one of them, like you're saying, in your neighborhood, nobody comes because it's a gated thing. That's a bummer.
I don't want people to think that I'm living in some
prison
special gated community. It's like a small townhome collection.
Collection.
It's gated.
Yeah.
We've got a security guard.
Shots fired around the place.
That doesn't bother Jennifer. Jennifer just ducks and then gets back up.
Kaylee and I, we do hear people fire off guns.
Yeah, just for fun.
It's for fun. I think hopefully they're shooting up. Sadly enough, Officer,
what goes up must come down, though.
Officer Troy told me that people fire at planes all the time when they're coming in. That's a thing. He's an officer. They shoot at planes. But
that's
pew pew.
Terrifying.
I don't know if we're allowed to say shoot on the show, but terrifying. You'll hear it. And it's funny to me because I just go over there and close the window we don't
Maybe that will protect me.
We're not interested in the gunfire. But I do think they're just shooting up.
But those bullets have to come down.
Sure, but they're not as bad as if they're...
Yes, they are. They come down at the same speed. That is science.
Yeah. You just shoot it and run and book it.
Wait, I know it's silent. No, I don't know. We'll try that out. We'll do.
I think we could probably look up a Mythbusters episode or something, and they probably.
My money is way more on the when it comes back down beats. I'm preferring that, but I know they say that if you drop a dime from the Empire State Building, it would kill somebody.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but I've never tried that.
Heard that.
Yeah.
I just don't.
I bet Mythbusters
don't want to try it though. After
we'll look it up. We'll look at Mythbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kaylee, will you tell us real quick how you ended up here at this church and in this position?
Okay, so I got saved around 3 years ago. I from that point just completely devoted my life to Jesus, and I just knew that I wanted to do everything in my power to glorify Him. In every action and word. And so I obviously started reading my Bible. And then as I got closer to Christ through my relationship, months later, I had made more friends in the church and connected more within the church than I have in years because I grew up in the church. But my friend Angie and my friend Nate got married.
You're in Florida, right? This is all in Florida?
Okay. Yes, sorry. I am from Pensacola, Florida. So I just moved here a month ago. My friend Angie and Nate got married, and through that, I met a lot of people that went to this Jackson Hole Bible College. And I highly recommend, love it. Pastor Don runs it. It's a great family kind of owned college, and it's really small in the town of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And so I prayed about it, and I prayed about going there, and I've already known about it for about 2 years because Angie and Nate had gone there. And so I prayed about it over the summer, and I was like, Lord, should I go here? Like, I felt called to go there, and I wanted to study theology and grow deeper in my faith and know all the questions that some people can't answer, and I was always like curious. And so I prayed about it. The Lord completely provided every penny I needed to go there. He opened the door fully. And so I went there August of last year. And it was just a year program. And then I got a certificate of completion. And then during those last few months there, I got a call from Aunt Jen, and she was like, hey, would you want to do an internship here at, CityRise this summer? And I was like, yeah, I'd totally be interested in that. That's awesome. Because I knew before I really wanted to go into ministry. I'd never known where I wanted or like to go or what to do in my life before that time, before I got saved. And nothing just felt right, I guess. And it was really hard for me to find my path. And then after I got saved, it was like, all I knew was I want to be in ministry. The Lord is definitely pulling on my heart to go to ministry. And so for him to open that door to the internship this summer, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I want. This is what I need. It's in the youth. And I wanted to be in the youth department. And so I got out of college and I came here and I worked here in the youth internship for 3 months. And then after that, I went home, and it was 4 days later because I had been praying for the past year while at college after I knew about this internship, during the internship, what my next step was. Because I was like, okay, this is great. I have the internship, but I don't know what my next step is and where the Lord is going to call me. And so I prayed and prayed and prayed for a door to be open in that area. And I went home. I talked to people at my church about a position open there. And it didn't seem and those doors were just closed immediately. They're like, hey, we're not really looking for someone in this position. We could talk about maybe possibilities, but
no, it's but you could volunteer.
Door. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you could be one of those people at the door that say hello every Sunday. Yeah. I'm like, no, I want I want to be in it. I want to walk with the kids as they're growing in their relationship with the Lord. And there was no position like that open in my church. And I looked at other churches in the area, and I just looked for every possibility around home in Pensacola to where I could go in. And then I get a call saying that Jenny Cortez, which is the woman whose position I am taking or have taken currently, she felt called by the Lord to move to children's ministry. And I was like, what? And so they reached out to me about taking that position, and Jenny wanted me to be the one to step into that after seeing my work throughout the summer. And it was just perfect timing. And so I'm sobbing, crying on this phone call because I'm like, this is every one of those prayers over the past year being answered. And so, I went through the interview process and put in my application. And they closed it, and immediately I got a call saying, hey, here's the information for the job. You got it. You're good. And you start this time, this day. And I was like, all right. And so I packed my bags. I was still at home for 4 weeks. I had like some plans, wedding, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came up here, moved in. I currently live with Aunt Jen, and I'm moving out in January.
Or February.
And that's why.
Jen's like, no rush.
Or February.
Or February.
No
I'll
rush.
definitely miss living with him though, because it's just being on a comedy show 24/7. Anyways,
She does get a lot of Andy and me with no filter.
Yeah, I bet. I was struck by your how short you've been a Christian and suddenly now you're in full-time ministry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to hear you talk more about growing up and how you became a Christian so recently, especially knowing that Jennifer is obviously a strong believer. Your grandparents on Jennifer's side are a strong believer. I don't know much about your immediate family, but what was your childhood like leading up to actually becoming a Christian? And what was it like, or how did you become a Christian?
Yeah. So I actually was born in Alabama. And I didn't move to Pensacola, Florida till I was around 7 years old.
Jennifer, I cannot believe how many selfies you're taking over there.
I can't believe you're going to interrupt your show.
I mean, it is out of control. I'm assuming
These
it's
are not
because
selfies. I'm taking pictures of Kaylie to say, go ahead, get back.
No.
Are you putting a stop on this?
Not at all. I need the world to know. I guess it's because you know her so well. Maybe you've heard the story a million times. And you're just totally checked out.
I'm taking pictures of all of us. I'm sending them to my mom. I'm taking how many? I'm taking
sure.
2 pictures of me and about 7 of y'all. That's all y'all.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Saw a lot of selfies going on, I thought. So you were born in Alabama.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt your story, Kaylie.
No, it's okay.
Justin, go ahead.
Born in Alabama, moved to Pensacola when I was 7 years old. My parents got divorced at that time. And so my dad stayed in Alabama, and me, my brother, and my sister stayed in Pensacola. And that is when we really started getting involved in church, was after my parents' divorce.
How old were you?
7.
Okay.
And so
her mom is my sister who we've had on the show. Wait,
Correct.
have we had Julie on the show?
She was one of the first ones in this.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's so sweet.
Great job.
Yeah. So my mom is Julie Adams, if you saw her on the podcast. So we started going to a church in my hometown, and I had gone to VBS, and I got saved and baptized there. And then we started like fully coming into this one church that was at another church. And then this church back home has been my home church since 3rd grade. And so I grew up there, was pretty involved, going every Sunday and Wednesday. I guess I would claim that I knew the Lord, had a relationship with him, but I never really did. And even through high school, I worked in the special needs for 2 years. I was more involved in the kids ministry. I was going on mission trips. So from like the outside, you wouldn't be able to tell that my heart wasn't in the right place and that I never really knew Jesus, because I almost just kind of put on the act that I knew I should have, being in that position. And so going forward after high school, I dropped from church kind of. And this is pretty average, pretty, common. And I definitely had that same experience. It was like after high school, you get your own kind of sense of independence, and you kind of get the opportunity of like, hey, I can actually like not go to church if I don't want to or whatnot, and like I'm in college, whatever. And so I stopped going as much, and I got involved with some people that I shouldn't have been involved with, and made friends with some people who led me into temptations that I'd never been faced with. And so I did drugs, and I drank, and I partied, and I experienced a ton for a few years. And I got into a relationship for a while that just led me deeper into that. And it wasn't a frustration at the time, because I was still claiming to know God, and just be a believer, but I didn't know what that meant. And so I thought I was good. It's like, okay, the Lord's already, died for our sins. Like, I'm forgiven, whatever. I can just do whatever I want and be forgiven and so forth. And I never really thought deeper into that until this relationship at that time, kind of led me to certain people, like his brother and his brother's now wife. They are now my best friends. And though the relationship is over, we still talk all the time. And we're very involved. Well, his brother at the time, and I'm going into detail because this part is actually really important, because this is what started kind of like Christ lifting the veil for me and me seeing how I was living and how I should be living and so forth. So his brother was doing the same exact stuff we were doing, drugs, partying, whatever, so forth. And we all came to my house at the time. My mom was out of town. We all went to our house and we were doing something we shouldn't have. We were on a specific drug and we were trying to go through the TV to watch something, and nothing was on that night. And this is like so cool to me. You just had to like be there, because we were scrolling through every channel and it was all like that black and white, fuzzy, like nothing was on except for a sermon. We reached this like one channel and there's a sermon on. And this sermon, I'd never heard of the pastor, never seen it, whatever. And me and my boyfriend at the time didn't think anything of it. We were kind of like out of it and not really watching. But his brother was so focused the entire time, watching and like clinging on to every single word. And we didn't even know that until the end. It ended, and then they were gonna leave, and his brother just stands up and he's like, yo, what are we doing? Like why are we living like this? And it was like the Lord in that moment with that sermon just took the veil from his eyes, and he changed his life after that night completely. And he had two just like ultimate things like that happen. So that was the first. And then he had another, because they were living in Miami at the time. And he had another one down there, and he moved back home and he started getting involved in church, and he signed up for that Bible college that I went to. And that was how I knew about it later on. But he went, and they had a family friend, which is now his wife currently, who also went at that same time. And they became really close and they started to like each other. They came home for Christmas break and spring break. And Christmas break, me and my current boyfriend at the time were having issues. And when he came home, I talked to him about it. He's, kind of telling me about his relationship with the Lord and how things have changed in his life. And he's telling me about the Bible college. And so then I kind of start getting curious, I guess, again. And then I'm like, his transformation overnight just like totally had me like so flustered. I didn't even know what to think. I was like, am I like living wrong? Like so forth. I had so much time to think about it up to this point. And then he was like, you should meet with this girl. And I was like, okay. And so she reached out to me literally after that conversation ended. She had already texted me asking if we can go to coffee that night. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And so I went to this coffee shop. And we sat in the coffee shop for like an hour and a half, and then it closed on us. And we sat in the car talking for like 3 more hours. Mm. And she had explained the gospel to me so clearly, like I have never heard it before. Mm. And it was like that night, my veil was lifted, and the Lord just completely spoke through her, every word that she said. And that is the night I fully believed in Christ and that he died on the cross. I realized my need for a savior. I realized how I'd been living, and I just wanted, it was like that same switch in me that went off in him earlier than that. And I just wanted to change everything about how I was living, what I was doing, and who I was living for. And so after that night, I was still currently in this relationship for a few months. We ended up moving out together for 3 months. And that really kind of started things towards the end of our relationship, because I feel like I had been wanting to end it for a while, and I felt that same from him. But we had been dating for so long, it was kind of hard to get out of it. Sorry. Okay. And we had been wanting to get out of it for kind of a long time. Well, then I had been trying to force Christ and the gospel onto him and wanting him to have a relationship with Christ so badly, because I didn't have the guts to get out of this relationship. And so I was like trying to bring that onto him so then we could just be good. And I wouldn't feel like so much shame in being in that relationship still. And during this time, I was individually like working on my personal relationship with Christ as well. So I'm getting closer, and the closer I'm getting to Christ, the further I'm getting from my current boyfriend. Well, it lines up perfectly to where we both are in town. Like we moved down to Orlando together. We both went up to Pensacola at the same time on 2 different, like it was weird. Anyways, that's another story. 2 different occasions. He went for work. I went for family. And we didn't see each other that whole 2 weeks. And there was like 7 opportunities to come to church. And it was either a Bible study, it was either Sunday morning or the college ministry or like certain events. Something happened within that 2 weeks where there was 7 opportunities to come to church. And I went to every single one of them, and I begged him to come to every single one of them. And he did not go to a single one. And so Halloween night came along. This is October, 2 years ago. So tomorrow night, 2 years ago, will be this night. Halloween came along. I decided to go to the college groups that they had that night instead of, doing anything else, celebrating Halloween. And they had talked about relationships, and every word that he said during that sermon was every single word that I needed to hear. And it was like the Lord completely spoke through him that night in order for me to just finally put my foot down on this situation that I had been struggling with that whole year. And so I left that night and went immediately to my current boyfriend, broke up with him. And then that was like the start of like my journey with Christ, I guess. Like that was the night I was like, finally, it felt like I was still connected to so much sin, even like past sin, just because of that situation. And once I kind of like finally got out of that and broke that, and the Lord gave me the strength to, it was like I was looking at this super long road that I could just now run down after this brick wall had been like broken down. And it was like so cool. And so then I'm fully devoted now. I am like running with Christ. I am and I am making connections in the church. I'm getting more involved, and then a few months after that couple got married, went to their wedding. That's when I met those connections for the Bible college. Lord called me to Bible college, provided it, went, got the internship, and I'm here.
Wow. Are you crying over there?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
I could cry because her sister, Julie, had just been on her knees for Kaylie.
Her sister.
Your sister.
Your sister.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. What was what was your experience as like supporting a mom? Like, what was it like?
Yeah, when Julie when after the divorce, Julie completely committed her life to the Lord, and she's never turned back. Like her stories of what God has done in her life, the testimony she has, she praises and gives God the glory every single day. And she changed everything. And that was her parenting, her heart. She gave her 3 kids to the Lord. She just said, "They're yours, Lord. I give them to you." And she was during this, like, I'm walking with Julie. I'm not walking with Kaylie. Like Kaylie's my niece. I love her. I'm praying for her. But Julie's on her knees, just broken for Kaylie all of this time. And we're just like, when they moved her to Orlando, that was really hard for Julie. And she's just continually, we're praying and giving it to the Lord. Well, then Kaylie came to visit us. She and this guy broke up, and Kaylie came to see me. She came to see us because she was transitioning and just like, come to see us in Houston. And I'm driving Kaylie around town, and we're just visiting. And Kaylie goes, "Oh," and I asked her about, "Hey, do you want to do this and this and this?" She goes, "And Jen, I'm not doing anything anymore until the Lord says so. I'm going to obey God. I'm going to obey God, and whatever he says, I'm going to do." And I was like, whoa, this is like a whole new, I called Julie and go, "Do you realize that she's completely transformed? She's a totally different kid." And she's like, "I know." She's just crying. And then when they started the Bible college, God totally provided for that. But when I saw Kaylie at Christmas, it was this past, I guess, Christmas, whatever, I'm lost in time, little old lady. And she was there. I could completely see how much Kaylie had grown and how passionate she was about the Lord. And at Christmas, I was just like, wow, this is incredible. And there was this moment where one of our family members, when people are really sold out for the Lord and really passionate about Jesus, it puts people who are not in that space or walking with the Lord, it irritates them. Even believers can be irritated, just kind of annoyed, like, oh, that's all you think about. That's all. And we were in that conversation with a family member who's just like, this is all you do now. This is all you think about now. And I'm going to cry just thinking about it. And Kaylie just sat there with tears in her eyes. And she's like, this is all I have. He's all I have. He is everything. And I thought, man, that kind of message like that, the person who's walked through this would be such a great person to walk with our students, like to share with the students the freedom and the love and the goodness that can be found in Jesus. And so that's when I started to think, I think this might be a fit. And I asked her, I go, Kaylie, you're going into ministry. Who do you feel called to? And she's like, I feel called to students. I feel called to college students or high school students. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. When someone has a call in their life, it's so evident because it's like all they want to do is be able to follow this path and tell people what Jesus has done for them. And so I just said, hey, put your name in. We'll see how it works. And Jenny met with her and Jenny was like blown away. And Tim was like, you can completely see the calling of God on this girl. And so she came and stayed for the summer. And my mom was like, you better get Kaylie back to Pensacola, Jennifer. She does not need to be living in Texas. And I'm like, oh, okay, Mom. And so I didn't do anything. I just gave it to the Lord and backed away and made sure that, and Kaylie and Olivia got to work together all summer, which is a total blessing because they have a lot of the same type of humor. They laughed so hard. I thought they were going to pass away, but they laughed so hard. And then God put it on Jenny's heart to move out of her role to serve kids. And Jenny, it's really fun watching Jenny work with kids. She loves it. She's so energized by it. The kids like her. She connects with them easily. So Jenny was ready to move over and she felt like the Lord had prepared Kaylie to move into her spot.
Can I say too, knowing your story of how hard last year was, losing staff members, transitioning, figuring things out, like the chaos you went through and the reward that God gave you in not only getting a new kids team member that you know and trust and is awesome. Like there's no unknown with Jenny, but you also got your niece in your town, in your home, in your church. Win. It's like you had a terrible last, year or so trying to like figure out the chaos of this ministry as there was transition.
Yes.
And how faithful God was to not only just like give you what you needed, but give you like an extra.
And a fortnight, buddy.
Yeah.
It's so fun having Kaylie live with us. And yes, she's going to move out at some point, but we love having her with us now. And she's so cool. I did tell Andy, I think Kaylie may be one of the only few people on the planet that could live with Andy and me.
Wow.
Other than Olivia, obviously.
Right.
She's the OG. But so so now Kaylie's the only person I've ever lived with and worked with full time. Like her office is across from mine.
That's funny.
And so it's been really so good. I think looking back on it all, we never, ever, ever fully conceptualized the sweetness and goodness of God. And the closest we come is being parents. That's the closest we come of understanding that no matter what my kid is doing, no matter what's going on, I never want anything but good and love and beauty for them. And that's the same way with God and us. And sometimes our perception of God gets so clouded. But God, at the end of the day, at the end of every day, he only wants to provide. He wants to provide for us. He wants to walk with us. He wants us to have purpose, and he wants us to trust him and know him. And I love the story of Kaylie's testimony.
Powerful.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll finally go viral, Kaylie. Anyway, well, it's been so good to visit, and I know we've got to wrap up with a get to know you question.
Do you have one?
Do you have one? Sometimes you bring one and I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
I don't have one.
You don't have one.
And we do have a meeting that we're butting up against too.
We do. Okay, let me just clarify. It is not a meeting. It is lunch. And you all know how Justin is about free food.
I will do
Justin
a free meal.
Can smell that food already.
Hey, let me say this one thing though about that. I'm glad you brought it up. Sweet Jaime, who works at our church.
Yes.
He was talking about Christmas decorations and how we are the staff gets to decorate the church. And I was kind of like, yeah, I don't really want to do it. He's like, but they give us lunch and I love free lunch. I was like, Jaime, me too, brother.
I'm going to help decorate that whole thing for some free food.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So right now, what is your drive-through order? What's your drive-through order right now?
Oh,
where are you going? Where are you hitting the most? What are you getting?
I can never get enough Chick-fil-A. And I'm frustrated because that's also the only place my kids will go. So when I'm by myself, I'm like, I can go anywhere. I could do anything. And I still go to Chick-fil-A.
You end up at Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. I mean, it's win.
Classic.
Kaylee, where do you find yourself driving through the most?
Same.
Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
I will also add, just like Ashley, Kaylee also has a pretty extensive coffee situation.
I do.
Right now, she is, I think, frequenting the Latazza. It's called Latazza. Latazza. That's like the cool.
She came in
coffee.
with it. She has it.
Yeah,
I do, and that avocado toast is waiting for me.
Yeah, she got it. She brought an order of
It
breakfast.
is waiting for me. I've had it for about 3 hours, and it is waiting.
I think my common. I may have talked about this. I'm not sure on the show. One of I think the fun things for me in life is to order through drive-through and sit in my car and eat it.
You love it. And it's beautiful
doing
outside now, so it's perfect.
Yes.
Wendy's chili.
You've had, yeah.
We've talked about that.
And it's fine.
Chili
Not everyone's
season.
heard every episode.
It is chili season.
Yeah.
And so I'm going through, I'm getting the large chili, no onions, no cheese. And I'm sitting there, maybe I'll get a fry, everyone. Did I tell you I met someone who dips their burger into Frosties at Wendy's? Did I tell you about that person?
You say it like it's bad. It's pretty good.
You would dip your burger?
Oh, burger. I think you said fries.
The fries, yes.
Oh,
everybody.
okay,
yeah.
okay,
Like
okay.
the fries are like normal.
you
Yeah,
said
that's
fries.
like, oh yeah,
I
you
was
can
like,
dip those
that's
in a blah, blah, blah,
pretty-
whatever.
okay. Yes,
the
that's pretty
burger.
wild.
Burger's like,
Ugh.
Sounds like that person has a problem.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't want to put that on. I don't want to put that out there. And I could not react to them without complete shock. Like, what? But I get back and say, man, that large chili sitting there drinking a Diet Coke and watching the world go by for my little lunch. Good times. Well, thank you, Kaylee.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your heart. Yeah. We loved having you. And she's Ashley's partner in crime with the student ministry.
Yeah.
And so we have usually Ashley on the show every other week now. And
that's fun.
She is fun.
She is fun.
She works very hard to get to talk between Justin and I, who are very verbal. But anyway, thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you guys for making it through the show. We hope you're blessed with the story of God's goodness in Kaylee's life. We hope you have a wonderful day. We hope you've had an almost amazing time on the Almost Amazing Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Almost Amazing Podcast from the CityRise Network based in Houston, Texas. CityRise is a partnership of church campuses, nonprofits, and missionaries devoted to lifting our city and the world by generously giving the gospel of Jesus Christ. For more information or to find a church campus close to you in the Houston area, visit cityrise.org.